Rishajiputra Atrasupam Rupam Tasyagrajamuri Purim Maturim Gustvatim Radhakundam Auradika Madhvasam Praptoyasa Pratita Kripaya Sri Guru Tamnatos Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Itarale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namo Ananda-Lila Maya Vigrahaya Hema Badivyastavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Bhaktya Vina Saparada Lakshya Ikasya Kamani Karam Pavani Kripa Mahitam Sharanam Prapadyam Vrinde Namaste Charanara Vidyam Vrinde Namaste Charanara Vidyam Govinda Damodara Maharati Govinda Damodara Maharati Govinda Damodara Maharati Govinda Damodara Maharati. Everyone. Hey Krishna, Hey Rama, Hey Saketi, Govinda Damodara Maharati. Sham Sundar Shikanda Shika Svaha Sumurli Manohara Radhikara Sukamama Kripanidhe Supriyacharna Kinkarim Kuru Tavaivasmi Tavaivasmi Na Jivami Tayavana Iti Vikyaya Devi Tam Namam Charantikam. First of all, I offer my Sastang Dhanavad Puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands and thousands of times, at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmadeya Paramaratatam Guru Pada Padma, Nitya-Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad, Ashtotara Satashisimad, Rupanugacharya Varya, Sila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Guru's Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Pranam. And finally, I offer my pranam to all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, Vanchakalpatarus. So, we have this impossible task of discussing the richness of the tradition of drama in this line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in only 3 lectures. So there's such a science and there's such a rasa just in making the Mangala Charanam. That means the auspicious invocation to a drama. Actually, just explaining that will actually take 3 lectures. So, but we're trying to give an overview. So in part 1, we discussed about kavya. What is poetry? And how Natakam, Natya means drama. Natakam is a specific type of drama. There are about 10 different types of dramas. One drama can be just a soliloquy, one person speaking. Another type of drama can be just a 1-act drama. Another type may be a 4-act drama. Another type of drama is about a military conflict. But the Natakam means a natya, a drama which has 10 acts. And the hero of the drama should be a Rajarshi. That means a royal person from a royal family who's a very good character. Also, the subject matter for a Natakam should be something which is well known, something which is already famous, that everyone's expected to know. So then you don't have to waste a lot of time in the drama with so many different details, because they already know the drama. But what will be expressed in the drama will be so many secrets and new things and details that the audience, they don't know, they've never seen or heard of before. So that is truly ascharya, adbhut, astonishing. If you hear a wonderful story, that's one type of experience. But if there's a story that you thought that you knew, and you are very familiar with, and then some secrets within that are opened up, then that is really, then you'll have to pick your jaw up from the floor. So Natakam has those symptoms. So the purpose of Natya drama is 2. One is to delight everyone. And secondly, to educate everyone. In other words, the drama it will have some good characters, it may have some bad characters, and it will teach us. For example, if it's a drama of Ramayana, it will teach us, try to behave like Ram, try not to behave like Ravana. That will be the lesson, that you'll leave the drama with this. So it's meant for the edification, for the nourishment, the religious upliftment of society. So, Bharat Muni, he has said, Natat jnanam natat vidya. There is no knowledge, there is no science, there is no art, there is no dharma, there is no type of yoga even, which you cannot learn from the Natakam, from watching the Natakam. So, we have in this 3-part series 2 lectures left today and tomorrow. So today I want to develop the theory of the drama and illustrate it with the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, how he did drama with his associates in Navadvip Dham. And then tomorrow, in the part 3, we'll discuss how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu interacted with the poets like Rai Ramananda, and with the poetry of Jayadev Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and their dramas, and relished drama in Jagannath Puri. So today we're in Navadvip, and tomorrow we'll go to Puri. So perhaps you know that our Sri Vishwambar Mishra, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's passport name. Vishwambar, the son of Jagannath Mishra. So our Vishwambar Mishra, he lives in Mayapur, and just very close by, not so far away, there is the house of Srivas Thakur, and then a little further, there is the house of his uncle. His name was Chandrasekhar, or he was also known as Acharya Ratna. So, he became Mahaprabhu's uncle because Sachimata has a younger sister named Malati, and Chandrasekhar is married to Malati. So they're very, very close. But the deepness of this relationship was very much intensified when Jagannath Mishra, Vishwambar Mishra's father, passed away from this world. So then, Nimai was still young. Sachis, in those days, ladies are not going to work or anything. Who will maintain the household? So after the disappearance of Jagannath Mishra, then Chandrasekhar became like a second father to Nimai. And he took responsibility to maintain the household of Sachimata completely. So, he's very, very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the place where his house is, I think many of you have been there, it's called Brajpatan. Brajpatan means it's the place where the Vrindavan Lila is manifest. And therefore, our Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, this was the place of his bhajan, where he sat for 10 years, from 1905 to 1915, chanting 300,000 names, 192 rounds every day for 10 years. He did his brata there. He made a beautiful Shamakund and Radhakund and Giraj Govardhan. And our Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also established, after he began his preaching, that was the main mat, the mool mat of all the Gaudiya mats. And after he became aprakat, unmanifest from our material vision, then Srila Prabhupada is still there today, sitting in Samadhi, in that place, Chandrasekhar Bhavan. So this place is extremely, extremely dear to us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and especially those in the line of Prabhupada Srila Saraswati Thakur. So why is this place so special? One day, Nimai Pandit, he told his associates, he told Buddhimanta Khan actually, because he was very wealthy. He said, I want you to procure all the costumes and the scenery, the curtains, the stage, the ornaments, everything, and we'll perform a drama in the house of Chandrasekhar. So, Nimai Pandit, he told Srivas Thakur and Advaita Charya, only those persons who have full control over their senses will be allowed to enter this drama. So then Advaita Charya said, well, that counts me out, I can't go. Because Advaita Charya is the incarnation of Lord Shiva. He was remembering how, in a previous pastime, and he had fear of this. Oh, what if Nimai, he'll manifest again his form of Mohini Murti? We all know what happened then. When Lord Shiva saw the form of Mohini Murti, he became maddened. His senses were out of control. He dropped his trident, he dropped his Damaru drum, his clothes fell off, he was running naked through the forest trying to catch Mohini Murti. He even lost his vital essence on himself when he was running. And all the yogis who worship Lord Shiva, Shivoham, Shivoham, to control their senses, they saw him running through their ashrams. So this was actually a special kind of pracha, preaching on the part of Lord Shiva, to make them all, the Shivites, become Vaishnavas. Because Ekaleshwar Krishna Artha-Prakritas Yari. There is one Supreme Lord, that is Krishna, and everyone else, including Mahadev, Shiva, they're all dancing according to his tune. So Advaita Charya said, oh, then I can't go to this drama. Srivas Thakur, he said, that's me too, you can count me out, I'm not allowed to go. Because he was remembering in his previous pastime, he was Narad Muni. And once Narad Muni, he became proud that Cupid tried to shoot him with the arrows, but he couldn't break his meditation. So he went and told Lord Narayan. But then Lord Narayan showed him, oh, no one is beyond my Maya. And Narad Muni became attracted to a princess and begged the Supreme Lord, oh my Lord, I always serve you with pure devotion, anyabhilashta shunyam, without any desire. But today I just want to ask you for one thing. Make me so beautiful, like the most beautiful prince in the world. Supreme Lord didn't say yes. He just said, Mangalam Bhavatu, may you be auspicious. So then later he went to the Swayamvar of that princess, and all the princes were standing in a line, and she was walking with a garland, and she was going to put the garland on the princess who has the prince, who she'll select to be her husband. So when she was coming by Narad Muni was coughing and sticking his neck out, but she just walked past him. He thought, oh, she must have been distracted, so he moved from the line, and then he joined the line again, further down the line. Again he stuck his head out, but she went past. All the other princes there were thinking, who is this shameful person who just keeps moving along the line? Two associates of Lord Shiva were standing by each side of him and saying, oh, you're so attractive. You are so gorgeous. Who can resist you? Like this. They were teasing him. And then he looked, he's a reflection in a fountain, and he saw that he had the face of a monkey. So then he saw Lord Narayan, he came in there, and the princess came and put the garland around him. Then he thought, he cheated me. He gave me a monkey face so that he can steal the princess. Or just as I had to run around here and there, trying to catch this woman. And now I'm suffering so much. So you will have to suffer also due to attachment to a woman. And he gave a curse to Bhagavan. And then the next moment, the palace disappeared, the princes, everything disappeared, and he saw that the princess was actually Lakshmi Devi. Then he became very embarrassed. And he realized, this is the Maya, the illusion of the Lord. His potencies, akatana gatana patiyasi shakti, can make the impossible possible. That is Yoga Maya. And Mahamaya also. Sayam bhagavato maya yannayena virudyate. Maitreya Rishi, he said, that the Maya, the illusory energy of the Lord, contradicts all logic and reason. You cannot understand, you cannot figure it out. Your intelligence will never touch it. And even if you think you worked out everything else, everything very logically, you'll still be wrong. Because Maya completely contradicts reason. So your intelligence will give you no shelter. Only shelter is service of Krishna's lotus feet. Seva Briti, the mood of Seva. Not the Gyan or anything. So, Advaitacharya and Srivas Thakur, they humbly bowed out. They said, we cannot go. Mahaprabhu said, no, you can go. And he began to give roles to the devotees. He said, Haridas Thakur, you should be a gatekeeper of Vaikuntha. Nityananda Prabhu will be Purnamasi Yogamaya. Gadadhar Pandit will be Lalita Sakhi. So he was giving out various roles. And then at the appointed time, the associates of Mahaprabhu and their wives and Sachimatra and others, they all sat in the audience waiting for the drama to begin. So Haridas Thakur came on the stage, he had a big moustache and a stick, and he began to introduce the drama. So this drama didn't have any formal structure. It was an improvisation. So, we'll be explaining today, you can see on the board here, a lot of technical terms. I don't want to break your head at the beginning of the lecture. We'll discuss that later in this lecture. So this drama was spontaneous. So there are two types of natya also. One is, the players have their characters and they play them, and it's an improvisation. But the writings of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Kavi Karnapur, Srila Rai Ramananda and so on, they have written according to the particular structure which has been set out by Bharat Muni and other great poets. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came onto the stage. And when he came onto the stage, he had the form of Rukmini. And Sachimata was looking and she didn't even recognize her own son. And just as Rukmini, she sang 10 verses to Krishna. Oh please, come and rescue me. I have surrendered my life to you. I only accept you as my husband. I will never marry this Shishupal. He's like a jackal. Why should the prize of the lion go to the jackal? You have an eternal, spiritual, transcendental form. And this Shishupal is just a bag of stool and urine wrapped up with skin and decorated with a moustache and fingernails. And this is not the Premaspada. This is not the object of love. So Krishna, you should come and rescue me. And if you don't rescue me and accept me as your wife, then I'll do such hard tapasya that very soon I will die. And in my next life, I'll do it again. And I'll do it again and again and again. Until the day when you come and save me. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, manifesting the form of Rukmini, was speaking these verses. This is the Nishtha in your Ishta. Oh Krishna, if you don't give me your darshan now, I'll just chant and chant and chant, and I won't eat for days and days. And then 5 minutes later you think, oh, maybe I'll watch TV. That is not Ishta. That is not Nishtha in the Ishta. So we have something to learn from Rukmini about the Dridata. Krishna said, Te dvandva mohani mukta bhajanti mam dridha brataha. When the mind is free from the dualities of this world, then the person will do bhajan with a dridata, very great firmness. This is also very important. You see, Krishna is the Advaya Gyan Tattva. He is the non-dual absolute truth. So unless our consciousness is free from dvandva, the dualities of happiness and distress, I and mine, you and yours, honor and dishonor, success and failure, profit and loss, until our mind is free from this dvandva, dualities, then what to speak of understanding Krishna, we cannot even understand Brahman, which is a very slight ansik abhas, a partial semblance of the effulgence of the toenail of Krishna. Brahman you cannot understand. So what to speak of Paramatma, what to speak of Krishna. So the way in which we receive the Leela of Krishna when our mind is immersed in duality is completely corrupt. It's in a completely corrupt understanding of the Leela. And this is why beforehand the Mahaprabhu said, no one is allowed in this drama unless they have control over their senses. Because only those persons who are situated in Advaya Gyan, non-dual consciousness, they can accept these things in a properly adjusted way and relish them. This is something to consider very carefully. Otherwise, our idea, everything will be only Prakrit rasa, not Aprakrita, supernatural rasa. It will be a material rasa, and it will only intensify and compound our attachment to the world. So, Mahaprabhu, he played the part of Rukmini, and then the next moment, he manifested as Mahalakshmi, the goddess of Vaikuntha. After playing the role of Lakshmi, the goddess of Vaikuntha, then with great humility, he manifested the form of Ganga Devi, the goddess of the Ganges, who is the embodiment of the Charnamrita of the Lord. And then the next moment, he manifested the form of Mahamaya also. And everyone began to laugh. You know? Mahamaya Devi. So in this way, Mahaprabhu and his associates were performing this drama, and many mystical and inexplicable things were manifest. And then Mahaprabhu manifested the form of Radharani. And the devotees began to experience the sweetness of Vrindavan. So just like the Ras Leela lasts for thousands of years, but at some point it comes to an end. So in the same way, the drama, spontaneous drama of Mahaprabhu and his associates in Chandrasekhar Bhavan, where everyone was transported to Vrindavan, eventually it came to an end. The sun was about to rise. And when the sun was about to rise, all the devotees were crying. They were weeping in separation. They couldn't tolerate that this ecstatic experience, which had never happened before. My Gurudev said that this drama was performed in the year 1506. And it was the very first time that this art form had been performed in Bengal. Before there were different types of musical performance and mime and dance and things like that, like Geet Govinda. But nothing like this type of drama had ever been manifest before. And definitely nothing like this because of its divine dimensions. So all the devotees were crying and they couldn't bear the thought that now they will go back to their ordinary lives after being immersed in this nectar with Nimai Pandit. So then, when Mahaprabhu saw that they were all weeping, then he assumed the form of Universal Mother. And he took the devotees one by one, or now it's a female form. She took the devotees one by one and began to feed them the breast milk. This was not milk. Began to nourish them with Prem. So, in the Svetashruta Upanishad, there it is said, Apanipado Javano Grihita, that the Supreme Lord, He has no hands, but He still accepts your offerings. He has no feet, but He still moves. So to keep this statement of the Vedas true, to keep the words of the Vedas true, the Supreme Lord has appeared in the form of Lord Jagannath. He has no hands, but He accepts Chappan Bhog, 56 preparations, 8 times every day in the Jagannath temple. So Panipado Javano Grihita, and He has no feet, but He still runs. Where? To Vrindavan. Every Rath Yatra festival, He's going from Kurukshetra, the Sri Mandir, and from Dwarka to Kurukshetra, and then he goes to Vrindavan, Sundarachal, in the Gundicha temple. So, just as Lord Jagannath appeared to keep true the words of the Vedas, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this Leela in the drama at Chandrasekhar Bhavan to keep true the words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said, Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father of the universe. I am the mother of the universe. I am the grandfather of the universe. I am the support of everyone. So to keep true the words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Mahaprabhu became the mother of all the devotees and nourished all with the nectar of Prem. So then when this drama was over, Nimai Pandit, he was in ecstasy for 7 days. Deep in power. And the entire house of Chandrasekhar Bhavan was glowing more brightly than the Brahman effulgence for 7 days. The devotees, they couldn't even see when they went to Chandrasekhar Bhavan. So, this account of the Leela has been given by Sri Vrindavandas Thakur. But it's just an indication, because other dramas went on there, and these dramas that were performed by Mahaprabhu and his associates, they contained the elements of the classical drama. So, we want to discuss something about the elements of classical drama. You can see on the board here.
Können wir es ein bisschen noch umdrehen vielleicht?
And can you turn it just a little bit? So, is there anyone here? Has everyone here read Rupa Goswami's Vidagdha Madhav? Anyone? Yeah? Rupa Goswami's Lalit Madhav? Anyone? Dan-Keli comedy? Anyone? Jagannath Pallab Natakam? Anyone? No? Okay. So, this will give you some insight how the Rupa Goswami and other poets put their dramas together. Because they're taking a story, a history that is already known. So mainly Rupa Goswami is explaining, taking some episodes from Krishna Lila in Srimad Bhagavatam. But then they are expressing this Lila in a dramatic form, and these are the components by which a very intense rasa can manifest. So first of all, we want to look. You can see the first column is called Karyavastas. There are 5 Karyavastas That means 5 stages of action. So the first stage of action is called Aramba, the commencement, the drama's beginning. The characters are being introduced and so on. Then the second Karyavasta, the second stage of the action, the plot, then that is called Yasna, endeavor. Because there should be some goal that the hero is trying to get. And so he's striving to get that goal. So then, the third part of the drama is called Pratyasa. Means the attainment of Asha, hope. In other words, he's endeavored really hard and he's just perhaps within a hair's breadth of attaining success. So that is the Pratyasa. But then, there should be a disaster. Just when you thought that the drama was over and the hero got his goal, there should be a complete disaster and everything is lost. And the hero is thrown into a total depression and it looks like a catastrophe. But at the end of that section, there should be a little glimmer, something that gives a little clue that actually not all is lost. So then, the fourth Karyavasta is called Niyatapti, means the certainty of success. In other words, the hero, he picks himself up and against all odds, he tries again. And then it brings you to the point where something happens and you know, for sure he's going to be successful this time. And then the fifth Karyavasta, the stage of action, is called Phalagaman. Phalagaman, which means, Phal means fruit and Agama means arrived. In other words, he arrived at his goal. So there's success, in the end there's success, the consummation of the drama. So these are the 5 Karyavastas. Now, the next ingredients is parallel to this. They're called the 5 Artha-Prakritas. So the 5 Artha-Prakritas are the subjective stages, subjective psychological stages of the development of the emotions of the hero. So the first one is called Bij, seed. In other words, Bij means a desire. It's exactly the same like our Bhakti Lata Bij. In our life, we meet our spiritual master, and by his kripa, by his mercy, a vishesh sanskar, a deep impression comes in the heart, and we realize, this is the mission of my life. It's a seed of an idea. And then of course, what happens after that, once you get the seed, then you start to endeavor. So that's the second part, the second Karyavasta, the endeavor. That's the result of the seed. If you're not trying, if you're not endeavoring, then there's a question, did we receive the seed or not? Has it been really planted in our hearts? So the first stage is the Bij, where the hero, and for us that hero is Krishna, some desire comes in his heart. And his whole life is now obsessed with the attainment of that desire. So that is the Bij. So, and if the hero is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then what is the Bij? If the hero of the drama is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then in the drama what will the Bij be? Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrishovana Swatyogina Bhutama Durima Kidrishova Mahima Sokyam Chasyamara Nubhavaka Krishtam Beti Yogdobha Tadbhavakya Samajani Sachikarava Sindhoharindu. The Bij is that Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wants to discover how deep, what are the glories of Radharani's love. What is the sweetness in Krishna that she alone relishes through her love? And what is the happiness that she experiences when she tastes the sweetness of Krishna through the greatness of her love? That's the beach in the drama of Gaura Lila. So, then the second Artha-Prakriti is called Bindu. Means a drop. Just as a seed needs to be watered, and when water is given, it grows. So there have to be some experiences, some incidents in the drama that cause that desire to intensify more and more and more. So, later tomorrow we'll discuss the specific examples from Krishna Lila, Ram Lila and other Lilas. Then the next stage is called the Pataka. The next Artha-Prakriti is called the Pataka. So Pataka refers to an episode that contains a secondary hero. So you'll see in a drama there's a main hero, but there's usually another secondary hero. And the main hero has his goal, and the secondary hero, he has his goal also, and it's different. And somehow as the action unfolds, the secondary hero gets his goal, and it's usually connected to the goal of the primary hero. So when the secondary hero attains what he wants, then that fulfills part of the mission of the primary hero. So the drama should be woven together in that way. For example, the Pataka, it begins at this point, but it can spread all the way through the drama, and that episode can just be completed just before the end. Signaling, Pataka means a flag. It's like a flag that signals that the main hero is going to be successful. That's why it's called the Pataka. So for example, in Ram Lila, then the Pataka, a secondary hero, is Sugriv. Right? Sugriv. Because Lord Ram has lost his wife. And Sugriv has lost his wife. Lord Ram's wife has been kidnapped by Ravana. And Sugriv's wife has been kidnapped by his brother Bali. So then, Ram and Sugriv, they make a pact. I'll help you get your wife back, you help me get my wife back. Right? So then, when Sugriv's fighting with Bali, then Ram shoots Bali from behind a tree like a hunter. And Sugriv gets his wife back and he's successful. And then his whole army of monkeys, they assist Lord Ram in the invasion of Lanka to get his wife back. So the Sugriv is in Ramayana, he plays that role. If you want to write a drama about Ramayana, this is your Pataka. So you can see where it fits when you're making the structure. So in Krishna Lila, who is the Pataka? In Krishna Lila, yeah? He knows because he heard my lecture before. Who's the Pataka in Krishna Lila? Uddhava. Right? Uddhava. Because when Uddhava was in Mathura, Krishna was crying and he held Uddhava by the hand. He said, Gatshuttava prajam somya pritrana pratimavaha gopinam matdiyogadim matsandesha vimochaya. Taman manaska matprana marate chaktadaika. Krishna was crying and he was glorifying the greatness of the love of the gopis. And when Uddhava heard this, he was astonished. What is that? I've never heard of a love like this before. Here in Mathura, Krishna Satchidananda, he's full of joy. And now I'm seeing him crying. What type of love do these Brijbasis have for him? And especially these gopis. So this desire came in the heart of Uddhava. So, you cannot go to Vrindavan with a ticket, with a plane ticket or a visa or a train ticket to actual Vrindavan. You can go to the place which is covered by a layer of Maya, which is covered by a layer of trash and pigs and rickshaws and things like that. But if you want to actually go to Vrindavan, Chintamani Bhumi Kalpam Riksha Bhayavan Chama Chakshe Dekitare Prapanche Rasam. Krishna's Karaj Goswami said, Vrindavan is made of Chintamani, wish-fulfilling jewels. All the trees are desire trees. But when you look at it with your Charma Chakshu means eyes made of meat. When you look with these meatballs, then you'll see Prapanche Rasam. Or something which is just exactly the same as Prapanch, the world of 5 elements. So, if you want to go to Vrindavan, then the only way to go, the only ticket to Vrindavan is Tattalo Yam Mekamula Mekalam. The greed. So by hearing from Krishna, Uddhav became obsessed, he became filled with greed. What is this prem of the gopis? And so it wasn't the chariot of Kamsa Maharaj that took Uddhav to Vrindavan. It was the same chariot that Akrura had used earlier. That's why the gopis, when they saw the chariot parked outside Nanda Bhavan, they thought, oh, Akrura came. So, because his master, Kamsa, has died, so now he has to do Pinda. So he wants to do Rid Pinda. That means very, very tamasic persons who do dark tantra. If someone dies, then they want to do Pinda with the heart of the enemy. So gopis are criticizing Akrura. Akrura is so cruel. Now perhaps he came back because his beloved Kamsa has died. And now he wants to do Pinda with our gopis' hearts. Because he already took our pran. So don't think that Uddhav went to Braja on the chariot of Kamsa Maharaj, but he was carried by the current of greed. And when he went there, he fulfilled the desire of Krishna. Krishna wanted to express a message to the Braja Gopis. He wanted to console them. And he also wanted Uddhav to see their praying, because in Mathura, Krishna has no one to speak to. No one understands him. But if Uddhav will go and see them, then when he comes back, then he'll be able to have very confidential discussion with Uddhav. Because in Vrindavan, there are many gopis and they can share their sorrow of separation with each other. So there's a saying that a problem shared is a problem halved. When you share with someone, you feel better. But Krishna has no one at all to share his separation with. So he's in more pain. So Krishna's mission is to console the gopis, and Uddhav should become a person with whom he can speak. So in this way, Krishna's desire is fulfilled, his goal is fulfilled, and Uddhav's desire is fulfilled, because when he goes there and sees, oh, Bande Nanda Brajestrinam Padarena Bhavishnasaha Yasam Harikadut Gitam Punati Bhuvanatrayam. I bow down from far away in the direction of one dust on the lotus feet of Braja Gopis. He had some experience, he could not fully realize. If he'd actually realized really the glories of their praying, he would have never gone back to Mathura. But he had something, he saw something. And so in that respect, his greed was also fulfilled. So in Krishna Lila, Uddhav is the Partaka. It's an episode of a secondary hero that goes along with the main hero. Now, when you write a drama, the secondary hero, he may have some personal motivation. Or he may be selfless. It may be a mission for the hero, the main hero. Or he may have some personal motivation. But then, the next Artha-Prakriti is called the Prakari. So the Prakari means an incident. Whereas the other one was an episode. An episode is some part of the plot which is spread out over time. But an incident is something that just happens briefly and then it's complete. So this is another hero, like a tertiary, not a secondary, the tertiary, a third hero. And this hero should be completely selfless, totally selfless, and just completely sacrifices everything for the sake of the main hero. So that's very, very moving. And his success signals the success of the desire of the main hero. So for example, in Ram Lila, who is a Prakari?
Hanuman.
Jatayu. You can't be Hanuman because he's throughout. He's very long, right? But there's an episode with Jatayu when Ram is coming through the forest and he finds the bird Jatayu and he's dying. And Jatayu, actually, he said, I only tried to stay alive just to see you, to give you this news. Because when Ravan stole away Sita, then Jatayu attacked him. And they had a fight, and Jatayu was mortally wounded. and he fell to the ground and he was dying. But he just thought, if I can stay alive somehow or other until my Lord Ram arrives, then I can tell him. Because at that point it was a total mystery. No one knew what had happened to Sita. They didn't know if she'd been kidnapped or anything, or which direction she was taken or anything. So when Ram came there, then Jatayu, was so happy to say, oh, she's been captured by a demon named Ravan, and he flew away to the south. And then Jatayu passes away, and at once he manifests a beautiful four-arm form and goes to the spiritual world. So this is an example of someone who fought to the death for the main hero. And it was just a short incident. And it's very touching, very heart-moving. And it gives the hero hope. Oh, now I know where she is. I'll go to the south and look for the kingdom of Ram. So that is the Prakriti. And then the last of the 5 Artha-Prakritas is called Karya. So Karya means the denouement. In French, we have some French here. Denouement. Yeah, denouement. So the English for denouement is denouement. Because English has a lot of loan words from the French as well. So that means where all the different loose ends of the drama, everything becomes resolved in the end. Perhaps you've heard the history of Indrajumna Maharaj. So Indrajumna Maharaj, he wanted to have the darshan of Nila Madhav, but Nila Madhav disappeared, so he was very sad. But then he was taken by Narad Muni to see Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma gave him instructions how he could again meet with Nila Madhav and establish a temple for him in Jagannath Puri. So when he came back to earth, then all of his family members, all of his friends, they'd all died thousands of years before. Because if you go to Brahmalok for 24 minutes, it's thousands of years on earth. So when he came back, there was another king there. And he said, I am the king. He said, no, I am the king. And they were quarreling with each other. So then they heard a voice go, Ram, Ram. And he was Kakabhushanti, old crow. And he lives for thousands of years. So he said, actually, I've been sitting here for thousands of years, and actually it's true. He is the king, he's Indrajumna from thousands of years ago. And then the new king, his name was Galamadav, and he bowed down to him. So then the Indrajumna said, where is my general? Yudhavir. He was my general Yudhavir, he was so faithful to me, so loving to me. But now I've lost him, he's gone. And where is my Brahmin priest, Vidyapati, who helped me to take me to the place of Nila Madhav? And, where is Vishwavasu? Vishwavasu was the swine herding king who was secretly worshipping Nila Madhav, and his daughter fell in love with Indrajumna Maharaj's priest, Vidyapati, and they got married. So he was lamenting that all the people that he loved, and even the people, there were other devotees that he used to argue with. He used to argue with Vishwavasu so much. There was a very stiff competition between them. But anyway, they were devotees. Better to be in a situation quarreling with devotees than be at peace with the materialists. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad said, I would rather be dropped into a tank full of crocodiles and sharks. I would rather be put in a cage and lowered into fire than to associate with the non-devotees. So even if sometimes the relationship with devotees, they may not be the best thing, but it's still the best thing. Just whatever faults devotees have, just love them. Don't criticize anyone. Don't have any ill will towards anyone, even if there's a difference of opinion. So he was crying like this, and then when Lord Jagannath appeared, and afterwards Lord Brahma came to do the installation ceremony, and Lord Brahma took some water from his kamandalu, And he sprinkled the water on the king, Galamadav. And then, as if awakening from a dream, he said, where am I? Kakabhushangi had told him, after you left and you went away for thousands of years, then another king attacked your kingdom. And your general, who loved you so much and was so faithful to you, he died in a battle defending your kingdom. So then, when Brahma sprinkled the water on Galamadav, the new king, opened his eyes and said, oh, where am I? Have I gone to some special hell for those who cannot defend the kingdom of their Lord? And it was his general from the previous life had now become the new king. And then in the Dhammaraj said, oh, it's you! It's my Yudavi, and embraced him. It was very ecstatic. So then, the Lord Brahma sprinkled water on the priest of the new king. So Kakabhushangi had told to Indrajomna, your priest, he was waiting for you to return. And he was doing fire yagya and praying for you to return. And he never let the fire go out. And he just did fire yagya every day until the day he died. And then he died and the fire of hope went out. And still you did not return. But he never gave up hope. So when Brahma sprinkled the water on the Brahmin of the new king, then he saw, it's you, Indrajomna. And he realized that he was the Vidyapati, his very close friend and advisor from thousands of years before. And they embraced each other. And then Brahma sprinkled water on Veerabahu. Veerabhadra. He was a powerful swine-herding man who had lifted the log of wood that became Lord Jagannath out from the ocean. And he sprinkled it, the water on him. And then he opened his eyes up. And he said, where am I? Where am I? Because he, out of separation from Nilamada, he had entered into a forest fire and just given up his life out of separation. And now he had come back in this form again to serve Lord Jagannath. So then Vidyapati, the Brahmin priest, he told his wife, bow down to your father. And so his wife is a Brahmin girl. He said, I'm not going to bow down to a pig farmer. I'm a Brahmin, why should I bow down to a pig farmer? Then Lord Brahma sprinkled water from his kamandala on her. And then she realized she was Lalita. And then, oh, Papa, Papa! And she started crying and embraced her father. So in this way it was shown that even though thousands and thousands of years had passed, but they were all kept together, united by their love for Krishna. Their love for Krishna kept them together, like this. So I'm just giving an example. This is a denouement. Right? That you had so many characters with all different roles going on, and then in the last and final scene of the drama, everything should become perfect. And all desires should be fulfilled, everyone should be happy. So, that is the fifth Artha-Prakriti. So you see in Lalit Madhav that Radha Radharani has jumped in the Jamuna. Everyone thought she committed suicide. But Vishakha Devi is actually the Gopi form of Jamuna. And Jamuna is the daughter of the sun god. So Vishakha jumped in the water with her and then carried her to the planet of the sun god. And then the sun god gave her as a gift to Satyajit, who was worshipping him. So she became Satyabhama in Dwarka. And so gradually Krishna went to Mathura and then went to Dwarka and is reunited with Radharani. So that's the denouement of the Lalit Madhav. And Yogamaya, also Yogamaya comes and Dwarka disappears and they find themselves back in Vrindavan. So we've given examples of the 5 Karyavastas and the 5 Artha-Prakritis. Now, how to write your drama. Okay. This is what you do. The drama has to have, when you're actually composing it now, it should have 5 junctures. They're called 5 sandhis. 5 sandhis. So they are the Mukha Sandhi, Pratimukha Sandhi, Garbha Sandhi, Vimarsha Sandhi, and Nirvahana Sandhi. So those you can see there. Now, how do these come about? Now different theorists of drama, they have different ideas. But Srila Rupa Goswami, he doesn't follow Sahitya Darpana Vishwanath Kaviraj. Rupa Goswami said, I don't accept Sahitya Darpan on many issues, but I accept, there's a book called the Rasarnava Sudakar, written by a poet named Singha Bhupal. So Rupa Goswami has accepted his conclusion in this regard, and his conclusion is that when each one of the Kayavastas meets with each one of the Artha-Prakritas, that makes one Sandhi. In other words, a Sandhi is the union between the Karyavastas and the Artha-Prakritas. So let's say you have a story that already exists, like a Krishna Lila, right? So then you have to see how it begins, where the endeavor is, where the hope is, and so on. Then you have to look where the desire of Krishna is appearing and how it gets nourished by a bindu. And then who are the secondary heroes and the tertiary heroes. And then what the conclusion is. And then you have to match them together. And where you match the Aramba with the beach, when that takes place, now that's going to be your first Sandhi of the drama, the Mukha Sandhi. Then when your Yajna, the endeavor, and the drop comes together, that will make the second Sandhi. Bhagavati knows all this already. Pratimukha Sandhi. So like that, when the Pratyasa meets with the Pataka, then you make your Garbha Sandhi. When the Niyatapti mixes with the Prakari, the Vimarsha Sandhi, and then the Falagam with the Karya, and it makes the Nivahana Sandhi, like this. Now it really gets interesting. So now you get your pen, and you're ready. You've got the basic outline of what you want to do. But now you have to actually make it happen. So there'll have to be many dialogues and things going on. So for this, the 5 Sandhis, they have Angas. Just like there are 9 Angas of Bhakti, or we can say 64 Angas of Bhakti. Or we can say there are 6 Angas of Shanagati. So the Mukha Sandhi has 12 Angas. The Pratimukha Sandhi has 13. Then the Garbha Sandhi has 12. The Vimarsha Sandhi has 16. And the Nivarana Sandhi has 14. So we put the numbers down there. So we're not going to explain the exactly all of the Angas today. We'll go onto that tomorrow. But the Angas give just different emotional elements. Like, at this point, you should put a point where there's a quarrel. And the characters are all in dissension and they go their different ways. And then at this point, you should put somewhere where someone says an insult to someone's face. And then at this point, you should add something where the other characters are trying to soothe him down because he's really hurt. And like this. So, each one of these Sandhis has a characteristic. And then, so you've already got your 5 Sandhis, and now you begin to take your story, which is well known, and place that onto the template of the classical structure. And then this will bring about very intense, explosive experience of rasa in the heart of the audience. Like that. Can you roll it onto the Sandhi page? Okay, so these are all the Sandhyangas. You can just take a photograph on your phone. So we're not going to explain these today, but tomorrow we'll discuss about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela in Jagannath Puri, and how just a few of these Angas were used by Rupa Goswami, and how Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Rai, Swarup Damodar, when they used to meet at Siddhabakul, they used to discuss all of these different ingredients. So, how are we doing? 11:50. So, there's another beautiful account of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We're not going to Puri today, we're going to Puri tomorrow. There's a beautiful account of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela in Navadvip. One day, Mahaprabhu told Haridas Thakur, I want you to become the Sutradhara. Now the Sutradhara is the director of a drama. Now in Western drama, you don't see the director, you just see his name go up at the end, you know, in the list of names. You don't actually see him on the stage. But in Vedic drama, you see the Sutradhara, the director of the drama. They can even play a role, they don't have to. Usually you'll see them in the beginning, and then you may not see them after that. But they can even be a character in the drama later, as well, as themselves, depending on the conceit of the drama. So one day Mahaprabhu said, "Oh Haridas Thakur, I want you to be the Sutradhara, and Mukunda is a very famous singer, associate of Mahaprabhu, you'll be the Pariparsvika." So the Pariparsvika is the assistant of the Sutradhara. So what happens at the beginning of the play, the director who's directing it comes on the stage with an assistant, and they just start having a conversation with each other. And the audience should be watching, and it's going to be so, it should be funny, astonishing, and it will just catch the attention of all the people. And there are some tricks to make the introduction, this conversation between the Sutradhara and Pariparsvika, sort of segue into the action in a way that's like hypnotic, you know? Just like if you go for hypnotherapy, you're smoking or something, and the hypnotherapist says, "Oh, welcome, please sit down, take a seat, and how are you feeling?" Then he snaps his fingers and like, you're going to trance, right? So drama should be like that. The Sutradhara catches everyone's attention and starts having a conversation. Sometimes he'll address the audience as well. But then he'll speak something in such a way, an astonishing way, which has an interaction with the characters who are really in another world. Like this. And it will be like a snap of his fingers, and it will just put all the audience into like a trance, and now they're there, sinking into the action. So, Mahaprabhu says, Srivas Thakur, you should play Narad. So, Srivas usually plays Narad because he can play it very well. Because he's Narad. And Nityananda Prabhu, you can play Yogamaya. Somehow or other, he keeps getting this role of Yogamaya. But you should know that when Nityananda Prabhu plays Yogamaya, that Purnamasi Devi actually enters into him. And this is true. When Vaishnavas make dramas, then the characters possess them, and you actually have the opportunity to see the Leela if it's really done with devotion. So then he said, told Gadadhar Pandit should play Lalita Sakhi. And Advaita Charya, he can play Krishna. And Mahaprabhu himself said he would play Radharani. So then they all went to the house of Chandrasekhar. Now one of the good ways to open a play is to have voices from behind the scenes, because everyone thinks, where did that come from? So they began the drama, and they heard a voice from behind the scenes say, Jayati Jananivaso Devaki Janmavado Yarubara Parishatswar Govidasyanadharma Stirchara Brijinaguna Susmita Shimukina Brajapura Banitanam Varayanukamadevam. It's from the end of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he likes this. Mahaprabhu likes this because very often in the plays, you'll see verses of Srimad Bhagavatam are coming in the plays, but shown in a new light. It means all glories to Krishna, who is the shelter of everyone. All reside within him, but he resides in the company of the Brijvasis. They say he is the son of Devaki, but that's just a rumor. By his powerful arms, in the form of his associates, he destroys all those who are against Dharma. And in Vrindavan, by his beautiful smile, he takes away the pain of suffering from all moving and non-moving living entities. And by that same smile, he increases the calm in the hearts of the Braja Gopis. So this verse came. Chandrasekhar, Srivas Thakur, Advaita Charya, all their wives were sitting in the audience and watching. They heard this verse. And then the Sutradhara, Haridas Thakur, came on the stage with Mukunda, the Pariparsvika, and they began their conversation. The Sutradhara, the director said, hey, you know, today I met with Narad Muni. what happened? Well, I was just saying my prayers to Lord Brahma, and after I'd finished praying, Narad Muni came along, and he said, I'm really thirsty, I'm really desperate, I want to see a beautiful Leela of Krishna. And I know that you're an expert director, so can you just please make a play, because I'm feeling so thirsty, I want to see Krishna's beautiful Braj Leela that he manifested in this world. So then the assistant said to the director, but Narad Muni, he's completely self-satisfied. He's a liberated soul. Why is he feeling this thirst? So then the Sutradhara said, let me tell you the secret. Atmaramas chamunayo nigranta apyurukare karvantohita kim bhaktim itam bhuta ganohari. Krishna has such wonderful divine qualities that even rishis or Atmaram, completely self-satisfied, they desire to serve him. Mukunda said, yes, I understand that he desires to serve him, but why does he want to see the Leela that he manifested in this world? Narad himself can go to the spiritual world. So then the director said, don't you know that when Krishna does his Leela here, it's even more sweet. It's even more sweet. Because Krishna is Sudhavat Krishna Chandraha. It is said in the Padma Purana that Krishna is like a cook. You know? A cook. When a cook is making a soup, so they boil the water, and they put the vegetables in, and then they make a churns, they add the spices with the ghee, and then they add the churns, and they stir it, and it becomes... So there are stages. They add the different ingredients in different stages, and then in the end the soup is delicious. So, the Nitya Leela of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan is Nitya Leela. That means he's the same age. He never leaves Vrindavan. And it goes around. It's not repetitive or boring. It's also full of nectar. But he's eternally as a Kishore. But what happens when he comes here? Krishna, being a cook, he starts to make a very special recipe. So he had his childhood pastimes. When Krishna's only 6, he dances on the head of Kaliya, and that's the day when Purvarag comes. And the childhood of Radha and Krishna is ending, and the first vikar of the chitta. Children are not lusty. But they get to a certain age, and then suddenly they look at someone and realize, oh, I'm a girl or I'm a boy. They realize their gender becomes... because the first vikar, the first transformation of the heart of Kam. So this came in this Kaliyadaman Leela. It's a Purvarag Leela. Very intense. And then after that, Krishna stole the clothes of the gopis. He lifted Govardhan. These are all Purvarag Leelas. They haven't met yet. But their loving attachment for each other is getting more and more intense. So we could say, if you want to put it in dramatic terms, the beach of Madhurya Rasa appeared there. And then when Krishna lifted Govardhan, it was a bindu. It was a drop that was nourishing, making it grow and grow. When Sri Krishna stole the clothes of the Braja Gopis, it was another drop, making the desire grow and grow. So someone shouldn't have a desire, then it's fulfilled. They should have a desire. And slowly, one incident after another is intensifying and intensifying. And then finally the Rasa Leela comes. So then Krishna performs the Rasa Leela. And after that the gopis feel more separation. Then Akrura comes and takes Krishna away, even more separation. And then after some years they meet at Kurukshetra. But still, Krishna doesn't agree. It's a disaster. They come back to Vrindavan without him. And in the end, when Krishna has to fight with Dankavakra in Mathura, then he gets on his chariot and goes across the Jamuna into Lohavan, and all the Brijvasis are waiting there. Because they're thinking that if Krishna is going from Braj and going back to Dwarka, then he'll have to go on this road. So they heard from some messengers that Krishna had been fighting in Mathura. So all the Brijabasis left their home and they were camping on the sides of the road in Lohavan. And they were thinking, even though Krishna forgot about us, when he drives past on his chariot to go back to Dwarka, we'll be able to go just for a second as he goes past. So all Brijabasis are waiting, camping there on the side of the road. But Sri Krishna came and got down from the chariot and promised them, I will not leave, I will not leave. Then there's the Samriddhi Mansapog, like this. So, that kind of rasa, that kind of intense experience, it cannot take place in Artha-Prakritas, Nitya-Lila. Right, actually. It can be there how? When Radharani, in the Artha-Prakritas, in the daily Lila, is feeling separation from Krishna. Yugaitam nimeshena, and one moment seems like a million years. She may imagine in those millions of years that Krishna has left and gone, like this. So then that bhav, the bhav in the heart of Radharani, that was never manifest there, is manifest here in this world. And this is why Haridas Thakur, as the Sutradhara, he's saying to Mukunda as the Paripashvika, let me tell you a secret. The Leela here is more sweet. Why? Because Krishna is like a cook here, and he just takes all these ingredients and mixes them one by one to make the most amazing preparation. So then Haridas Thakur said, don't you know? Anugrahaya bhaktanam manasam demasritaha tadrishi bhajati krido yasutva tatparo bhavet. Shukadev Goswami has said that this beautiful Leela of Krishna, Rasa Leela, that was manifested in this world, Krishna has manifested this out of his anugrah. He's caused us mercy. Manasam dayamasritaha, for all human beings. The main qualification for entering into Madhurya Rasa is that you're a human being. Huh? So you're all very fortunate. Manasam dayamasritaha means anyone who has taken birth as a human being, Krishna has come and performed this Rasa Leela for you. And why? Tadrishi Krido Yasutva Paro Bhavet. That if you will hear these beautiful pastimes that Krishna has performed, especially Rasa Leela, then it has Achintya Shakti. Just like Aushadi, a herb, or a mantra, or a jewel. Aushadi, money and mantra, these three things are very famous in Vedic culture, that they have some inconceivable powers. The herbs can cure you. The jewels can transform the iron into gold. And mantras can turn one into a dvija, a vipra, a twice-born. So mantras, herbs and jewels are considered to have inconceivable power. So similarly, the Qatar of Krishna's Rasa Leela has inconceivable Shakti to transform an ordinary person, liberate them from all their ahankar, all kam, all avidya, and turn them into a very beautiful golden gopi of Vrindavan. So, what we have here in Chandrasekhar Bhavan, Haridas Thakur and Mukunda are coming on, and they're just having this conversation. And they're attracting the audience of everyone. What are we about to see now? And what will be the effect of this drama that we're about to see? It's coming out in their flow of their conversation. So, the Sutradhara mentioned that he'd met Narad and Narad asked him, can you make a drama for me today? So then the assistant says, okay then, well, let's wait for Narad to arrive and we'll make the drama. And he said, no, Narad will want the drama already. He doesn't want to wait around while we're rehearsing. We have to get it ready now. So then, the Paripasvika said, what drama shall we perform? The Sutradhara said, we'll do Dan-Keli-Lila. Krishna's pastime of exacting attacks from the Braja Gopis. So then, from off the stage, everyone can hear a voice. Oh Sutradhara, what time is this drama starting? So then the Sutradhara said, "Oh, he's coming now! We better get it together with the actors." And then the director and his assistant rush off the stage to go and get the actors together. So the idea is that very often in a Vedic drama, the director and his assistants, they make it look like they're in a shambles, that the drama isn't ready. So now if you're the director of a real drama, then you may not be acting so much, that might be it might even be your staiva. Right? Because before the drama, I've directed so many dramas for my Gurudev. My Gurudev was like, "You have to make the life of Rupa Goswami by tomorrow night." But I don't have a script, just no buts. So then what happens is, the Sutradhara, the director of the drama, is generally portrayed as being a little bit frenetic. That it's not all ready, and he doesn't have the actors ready and everything. So on the pretext of trying to get the actors ready at the last minute, he runs off the stage to allow Narad to come onto the stage. So then Narad comes on, and he's got a brahmachari assistant, played by Shuklamba Brahmachari, actually. So Shuklamba Brahmachari is Narad's assistant. So they walk onto the stage, and then Narad comes, and he sees he's in Vrindavan, and begins to describe, "Oh, how beautiful is this place! It's filled with the singing birds, cuckoo birds, peacocks are spreading their feathers and dancing, and so many deer in the forest are jumping here and there. The bumblebees are humming, and all the desire trees look so beautiful and fill the atmosphere with a fragrance. This is such a beautiful place that even my father, Lord Brahma, he said, Tadburi bhagyam niya janma kimapyatavyam yad gokulepika tamangri rajo vishekam yad jivitam tu nikalam bhagavan makundas adyapi yad patarajasuti mrikyaleva." If the audience are the Bhagavatas, the living Bhagavatas, the scholars of Bhagavata, then they will hear and be astonished. Lord Brahma is saying that it would be a matter of great fortune for me if I could take any birth in Gokul, actually here in Vrindavan, or even not in Vrindavan, on the other side of the river, in Gokul. If I could become even a stone here, that would be great fortune for me. Because then I would be able to get the touch of the dust of the feet of the Brijvasis. Yats jivitam tu nikilam bhagavan mukunda. That means that for the Brijvasis, Mukunda, Krishna, is their jivana, is their life. So what gives us life? Our pran, our senses. So what Lord Brahma is saying here is that Sri Krishna is living in the senses of all the Brijvasis. This is what it means to be Krishna conscious. That Krishna is living in your eyes, His beauty. The sound of His flute is living in your ears. The touch of His hands is living in your skin. The fragrance of His body, like aguru, chandan, kasturi, is living in your nose. But not only that, here the deep meaning is that Krishna is living in all the senses of Brijvasis in the capacity of their servants. Krishna is always, what can I do for you? Very submissive and surrendered to them fully. Adyapi yatpadaraja suti vrikyameva. I want to get the dust of the feet of the residents of Vrindavan because Krishna is totally surrendered to them and dedicated to them. What's the use of studying the Vedas? The Vedas are still searching for the dust of his lotus feet. So I want to get the dust of the feet of the Brijvasis. So Brahmaji was remembering, even my Guru and my father, this is his mood towards Vrindavan. So how fortunate I am to be here today. And then Narad hears the sound. What is that? The sound of a flute. This flute is so astonishing. It seems to bite my heart when I hear it. And this flute music has so much joy. It seems to be the sound of a swarm of bees who have landed on flowers in the garden of Prem. The sound of this flute is so joyful. It appears to be like the warbling of swans who have just, after flying long distance, have landed in the Manasrovar lake of pure Amrita. The sound of this flute is like the beating of drums at the beginning of a battle. That is, the sound of this flute is like the roll of the drums announcing the beginning of the Kam Sangram, the battle of Cupid. So like Narad Muni, he's becoming completely mad, hearing the sound of Krishna. He thinks that it's getting closer and closer. It's getting closer and closer. Will I today see Krishna? And those beautiful, very shy and humble and loving, elegant gopis. Let me hide and see. Then Narad goes and he hides. And then, see, Krishna comes. Krishna walks onto the stage. He's with Subal, Sridham and other sakas. He says, hey, Subal, Sridham, have you seen that buffoon? Madhumangal? Where is he? No, we haven't seen him. Well, go and look for him then. They start looking. Then the next moment, Madhumangal runs on. Help me, help me! Oh, Krishna, my friend, save me, save me, save me. Krishna said, what's wrong? Madhumangal said, I saw a very austere yogini. And she was walking with 5 beautiful girls, and they were going to the temple of Gopeshwar Mahadev. So I knew they were going to do some tantric ceremonies. So perhaps you know in the 5th canto there's a history of Jad Bharat, you know. And there were some dacoits, and they found him and they were going to make it as a human sacrifice. So Madhumangal said, when I saw this frightening yogini and these girls going to the temple of Mahadev, I thought, they're going to catch me, they want to make a human sacrifice of me. So then Subal, he said, no. That yogini was Yogamaya Purnamasi Devi. And all the gopis, they've been forbidden from going out of their homes. So on the pretext of worshipping Gopeshwar Mahadev and promising to be under the guidance of most respected Yogamaya Purnamasi Devi, they're going there. Madhumangal said, oh, that's very good. Because that means they're all coming to the trap of my Sakha. So, in this way, in Chandrasekhar Bhavan, all the devotees are watching the beautiful drama of Mahaprabhu. And of course, Krishna here is the Dvaitacharya. Yeah? So, but unfortunately, we've run out of time. We'll continue to explain something. How the Kavikarnapur is utilizing the various, you can say, all of these things. They're like colors. An artist has a palette. And on his palette he has so many colors, and he's going to paint a picture so he can take them and mix them together and make a beautiful picture. So this is, if you're writing a drama or anything, this is your palette. And you can take the parts and make a very beautiful drama. So we'll continue this discuss. We didn't finish Navadvip, so we'll try to complete our discussion of the Natakam in Navadvip tomorrow. And then we'll go on to Natakam in Jagannath Puri. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So I just have to, please don't go, say 2 Mahamantras. Because, my Gurudev used to say that Harikatha is a person. Harikatha is a transcendental person. So when a great person arrives, then we all sing and welcome them. And when they leave, we also do a kirtan when they're leaving. So in the same way, before Harikatha, we sing a kirtan, and then Harikatha can come and manifest transcendentally. And then at the end, now Harikatha is leaving. So then out of respect, we do kirtan, and we pray, oh Harikatha, be pleased with us and come back again tomorrow.